need better internet. AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience with 25 times faster upload speeds than cable. Visit att.com/25 times faster.
Limited availability in select areas based on Internet 1000 wired upload connection speed versus major cable providers. 1 gig service with uploads of 35 megabits per second. Restrictions apply.
Did you know that your local grocery outlet is independently owned and operated by folks in your community? Unlike traditional grocery stores, this allows us to better serve our customers and the communities in which we operate. We support local schools and charities like helping fire departments with toy drives. We also donate thousands of items each year to food pantries in your neighborhood. Stop by your local grocery outlet today and see what we've been up to.
Because when you get Xfinity Internet and Mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill over AT&T. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start-saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/30/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
The Truly Punch Hard Seltzer contains alcohol. We know. How could 100 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and 5% alcohol by volume be so flavorful? We don't know. And apparently neither does Sal from Wisconsin, who's been drinking one every day before work. Try new Truly Punch Hard Seltzer, our biggest flavor yet, along with 23 other delicious flavors. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Mass. Please drink responsibly.
Fuel economy.
You, sir, are on the money.
Because it removes existing engine deposits
You are so on the money.
and prevents the formation of new ones.
Again, on the money.
So, are you gonna fill up, or what?
Just as soon as you get off the money, you've been standing on my 20 for 5 minutes.
Oh, right. Sorry. Argo optimizes your fuel economy. Requires continuous use depending on what you drive and how you drive. Optimizes your engine's performance from harmful effects of deposits caused by minimum detergent fuels.
Save savings on furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. If you've been waiting to update an area in your home, now is the time. Hurry in and take advantage of incredible savings on sofas, sectionals, dining and bedroom sets, and recliners. You'll also save on appliances, TVs, mattresses, and more. And enter to win a trip for 4 to Hawaii. Plus, pay 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Save store-wide during the Labor Day sale at RC Willey.
Thank you. That's why iHeart is giving you your very own station, My Favorites Radio, where the only songs that play are the ones you've thumbed up, plus the biggest songs on the stations you listen to the most. The more you hit thumbs up, the more personal My Favorites Radio gets. Trust us, the thumb spraying will be worth it. You can even show off your amazing musical taste and share your station with friends. My Favorites Radio, only on iHeart. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
We don't think so. RexMD has FDA-approved generic Viagra medication of that little blue pill starting at just $2. Why pay huge pharmacy prices when you can get the same results for a fraction of the cost? Give your bank account a break. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you'll get a starter pack prescription of industry-leading generic Viagra medication. Just call 800-214-2961. We've helped over 100,000 men with their sex lives and with getting prescription medications direct. Your consultation is free, there's no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. Get your starter pack now. Call 800-214-2961. That's 800-214-2961. Again, 800-214-2961.
And all the power that comes with it. The power to access everything humanity has to offer. The power to connect with anyone in the world. The power to order tacos. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A32 5G when you switch to America's largest 5G network. Information, communication, tacos. Now that's power. More power to save. Boost Mobile. Free phone limited to new customers and one per line. Additional restrictions apply. See BoostMobile.com for details.
Let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton with Big C. This is Charlton at Big C Sports, coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America, and Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to all the good old boys around the country that love sports. I want to say bienvenidos to all of our listeners in Latin America, also across the pond, and London, England, as well as Paris, France. Of course, we love you in Canada and Africa, the Big C tribe, but there's no one we love more than the good old boys around the country, in the land of the free and the home of the brave on the beautiful August the 27th, 2021. Grondo Deportes, bonjour, de vidi vidi vici. Welcome to the Sports Universe. Really appreciate it. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. When you go by and test drive yours, tell them, hey, did Charlton bring the Escalade back yet? It's all fair at level work. Tell them Big C sent you. That's all fair at level work. You can follow Big C Sports all around the world on Xfinity, Comcast TV, Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. But you better have a smart TV, or you'll be sitting there looking at a still picture. You can also follow Big C Sports on Spotify. You can follow Big C Sports on iHeartRadio Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Podchasers. There's so many apps that I really do appreciate. Live then, it's all fair and love and war. I really appreciate the way things are growing with Big C Sports. Happy Friday, everybody! It's Friday! I don't know, every day should be happy. When you think about it, we're happy every day. You're happy. I'll always be happy when people reach out to our veterans. We do give out the Veterans Crisis Hotline. They really are a hotline that's able to help veterans and their loved ones, and anybody for that matter going through issues. Simply pick up the phone, call 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255, or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255 to get them up. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. You can definitely get some help for our veterans and their loved ones. Also very happy to be affiliated with Valley, home with weekly TV on Dish TV, Direct TV, AT&T Universe, TV of the first place, San Francisco Giants. And when we reach out to them, just tell them, you know the role. Charlton wants World Series tickets. It's all fair and level work. But they got to keep those Dodgers at bay. Those Dodgers are coming down that track like the great Johnny Cash. They'll be coming around that mountain when they come. They'll be coming around that mountain when they come. They'll be coming around that mountain and stick your foot out and trip them. It's all fair and level work. Really appreciate the way they're going with Big C Sports. Our goal is simple. When you reach out to them, tell them Big C sent you, looking for World Series tickets, of course. You know, the San Francisco Giants are home of the Say Hey Kid and the home run king Barry Bonds. Yeah, indeed. Right field, back to the wall. That's the great Barry Bonds. All fair and level war. That's what happens when you eat your spinach, like Popeye the Sailor Man. You eat that spinach, you can become the home run king. All fair and level war. Really appreciate that. But at the same time, our goal is simple. We want to recruit 10,000 real estate agents and brokers all over this great country, just like McDonald's does it and Nike does it, car dealerships are doing it. We want to help put people in TV and real estate on TV, and all you got to do is let it work for you. Pick up the phone, call 800-772-8624. If you're looking for opportunities in real estate, just say, hey, Charlton, you got any opportunities in real estate? Sometimes there's a clue that you might get some of the answers that you need to the test. I mean, there's a clue. I can't confirm by the die, but you got to call 800-772-8624. If you're looking for opportunities, go to bigcsports.pacwm.com. Most of our loans are underwritten by Rocket Mortgage and United Wholesale Mortgage, the #1 lenders in the country on the wholesale side. I also want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight for presenting Big C Sports to the universe, just like in Genesis 1:3. God said, let there be light. I got to pause because some people were saying, Charlton, what's Genesis 1:3? I guess people are on FaceTime and Instagram more than they understand the Bible. All fair level war. It's in the New King James Version, let there be light. Also, today's show is sponsored by the Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, 100% of your gain, and it also goes great with the Big C Burger. It is a tasty burger, and it comes with, what's all this exotic meat? The great Sam Jackson from Pulp Fiction back in the day. If you don't know, just Google Pulp Fiction, Sam Jackson, John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Quentin Tarantino, and there's a lot of good old boys that played in that movie. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair and level war. In the Big C Burger, rumor has it, It tastes better in your mouth than it does in your hands. As most things do in life, taste better in your mouth than they do in your hand. If that can be confirmed or denied, I don't know. But it comes with exotic meats. It's all fair in level war. I love doing Big C Sports Podcast. It's one of the things that I really do appreciate because I created it when I tore up enough record players when I was a young boy. And Mama's like, did you tear up the record player again? It's all fair in level war. But as I say, let's get ready to rumble! For all you kids going back to school, it's a great day. You go back to school, and now you don't have to listen to what anybody says. You do everything you want. Do it your way. Just don't get in trouble. Don't break the law, because then you can't do it your way. You don't want Sheriff Buford T. Justice looking for you. You won't be able to do it your way if Buford T. Justice gets his hands on you, the great Smokey and the Bandit. But I say welcome to the show, Espy-nominated Big C Sports Podcast, the #1 sports show in the universe. I do it with no script. I'm talking to sponsors because I'm looking for $10 million. I know that's not a lot of money, but I'm doing it for football, basketball, and baseball. So I'm not looking for 1 year. But $10 million I'm asking sponsors. You know, NFL football is, if you understand the Title VII, minority-owned broadcasts are also able to get that money. There's a $15 billion bucket. $15 billion buckets where there's ABC, ESPN, NBC, CBS, Fox, TNT. They all get it. Big C Sports also has my EIN number. It's all fair. 11 War. Welcome to the show. Espy nominated. As I mentioned, no scripts. People say, yeah, Charles, that's pretty obvious by now. No teleprompters. Yeah, I saw a show this morning on TV. They had 3 people on the stage. 3. Like 1, 2, 3. The teleprompter stopped, and they said, so what do you guys want us to do now? And they're getting millions of dollars? Come on. No teleprompters. No producer. None. They say, yeah, it's obvious, Charles, we understand. No producers. But I do with my higher self. I have so much knowledge that I love bringing to the sports universe. And you can try it with anyone on television. I just ask them. Have them do it. No producer, no teleprompter, no script, no research crew. None of that trash. None of it. I even do my show sometime without electricity. It depends on if they have power blackouts in California. Sometimes the grid goes down. What you going to do when the grid goes down? I always pay homage to God. And I also pay, Genesis 1:3, let there be light, Saul, fair, and 11 war. I thank my son Malcolm for sending me stats. My daughter at times Daisy, and at times Big C would in the past. But I do my show solo, just like a prize fighter in the ring. Like Ali said one time, he was sticking and moving on the beanbag. But when he got into the ring, the guy fought back. He said it's a lot different when the guy's throwing back and throwing punches back. Those punching bags, they don't fight back. All fair in level war. Number 1, why the $10 million you sponsors? You're paying it out to people anyway. But I produce, number 1. Number 2, I direct the topics. Number 3, I broadcast the shows. Number 4, I do all the sound effects. The Big C burger is a tasty burger, and it comes with exotic meats. I do the commercials outside of what the agency does. I provide all the stats. Sometimes I'm wrong. If it helps my team win, if that makes sense to you, I do the storytelling. You deserve a break today, so get up and get away to the Big C Burger with all these exotic meats. I even sing. I got to add another talent. It's just like kissing. You don't got to be good at it to enjoy it. I love singing. Everybody loves kissing, and everybody loves singing. I do both. It's all fair in level war. Even if you kiss in the mirror, it still counts. No one has to go dateless on Friday night. Just find a mirror. If it fogs up, you got lucky. You fall fair in level war. The great Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I'll be back. All fair level war. But I do storytelling, Bible verses, and then I upload every show to 15 multiple podcast platforms and 4 television platforms. I never missed a show since starting Big C Sports. It was on September 12th, 2015. Never missed a show. Not even during some of the worst days of my life, I never missed a show. And just like breathing, you gotta breathe. Take a deep breath, breathe out. I went and had my exam the other day, and my doctor said, all right, Mr. Curry, it's time to bend over. He said, welcome to the show. It's all fair level war. But every man needs to do that. You bend over. You got to bend over, and you get your backside looked at. And it's amazing because a lot of men, they run away from it. Like, why are you running away from it? In fact, I told the doctor I'd be back because I want to make sure I stay healthy. If that makes sense to you. Everyone needs an arc in their life. You don't have to be good at it to just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I got my COVID vaccine. I will admit I've been a little bit loopy the last couple of days. I don't know what they put that vaccine, but I want to go. I'll be back for my next one. Oh, man. What a happy Friday. God is good. All's fair in love and war. But again, I say for the $10 million, I've already done a whole show. It's only been like 15 minutes. And no teleprompter is broken. Big City Sports Show is the only sports show in the universe. I do it live, extemporaneous. God said, just like God did it in Genesis 13:15, for all the land that thou seest will I give you, and to thy seed forever. Also, James 4:2, we have not because we ask not. So just ask. That's why I'm asking for the major sponsors that sponsor every sports platform and podcast and TV show. Is a $15 billion loan for the NFL alone. I'm asking for $10 million. 800-772-8624. There's so many platforms that are copying the Big City Sports Podcast. The hit, deep right field, back to the wall home run. The mothership is doing it all night long like the great Lionel Richie. All night long. When Lionel Richie did his thing all night long, he didn't say he was good at it. He just said he kept doing it. Like the energizing body. Boing, 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 boing. You don't have to be good at anything. Just do it. Just like breathing. You ain't got to be good at breathing. If that makes sense to you. I love what I'm doing. I want to talk today. First of all, congratulations to anybody going back to school. I want to pay homage to the United Negro College Fund because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. I know a lot of friends, they just said, I'm going to waste it anyway. They wasted it anyway. Oh, man, life's funny. It's funny when you think about some of the people in the past that said, how are you going to get a show? And hoping that you fail, man, they let the balloon out of your, they let the air out of your balloon. You know, they stop right before you get on the air. They call and say, I can't make it. They call and say, I can't make it. I'm not going to show up. I was doing an MMA fight a couple years ago, and it was Uriah Faber. They had a fight on Fox Sports, and it was at Golden One Center in Northern California, home of the Sacramento Kings. And we went over to Uriah Faber's gym, Team Alpha Male, the best gym in the country, and some great fighters. Cody Garbrandt was there, of course, Uriah Faber. And I remember, you know, Josh Emmett, met the Diaz brothers, all those guys. I remember we shot 23 commercials. 23! But because I did not own it, would you believe those white boys kept all of them? They said, man, we're not going to let you get up there. We're gonna do the commercials instead. They were so nervous. They didn't even do them. Oh, man, it's so funny. I remember one guy saying, Charlton, man, you know, you're trying to interview everybody. Save some interviews for other people. I said, okay, go ahead and interview him. I gave him the microphone. Would you believe they paused? They panicked. They didn't do it. See, I'm not afraid to fail because you only fail if you don't try. And I'm telling everybody, especially young black kids, that Title VII, you got to Google it because African Americans are part of this. It was passed through the Civil Rights Movement, 1964. We are entitled as your own entity to get part of the billion-dollar empire that every major network gets, and they're not going to tell you, but they'll hire a couple of black guys to sit on the side of a white guy and get them all the knowledge. Almost every show has a white man at the front of it, and he has 4 or 5 black sidekicks. They call them in every week. The show's not named after them. So they don't get part of that $15 billion package. They get whatever crumbs they give them. It's a fact. That's why you Google Title VII. Don't listen to me, Google it. All fair and level work. If you're in media, you gotta do it. Sending out resumes. Just get your EIN number and start producing your show. Sponsors will find you. If you build it, they will come. When you're ready, the teacher will come. We've all heard that before. Well, it's time! Welcome to the show. I want to pay homage to our high school football teams all over the country. And many people have said, well, Charlton, how did you count every one? It's called technology. Back in 2000, there was a program called SAC Preps, and there's a gentleman that I had worked with, and I'm not going to give out his name because he don't need it, but CBS Sports bought it. They gave him $43 million. And now it's called Max Preps. You can Google it. There was a time that we sat down and had some. I think it was called corn chowder, not clam chowder, but corn chowder. And he was saying how he was having a hard time making ends meet. And within a year of not giving up and not sending out resumes to someone to work for them, to farm their garden, CBS wrote him a check for $43 million. I'm just asking for $10 million because my podcast is dope, and you know it's true. Again, no teleprompters, no script writers, no producer in my ear, and everybody said, yeah, Trump, that's very obvious. But I want to pay homage to our high school football, the top 20 all over the country. I'm going to count down from number 20 to number 1. Drum roll, please. It's time. Number 20 in Big C's Sports National High School Football Rankings. Number 20 is Xavier of Cincinnati, Ohio. Number 19 is St. Joseph Prep of Philadelphia. Number 18 is Servite of Anaheim, California. Number 17 is Katy High School of Texas. Number 16 is Chandler High School of Chandler, Arizona. Number 15 is Center Grove High School of Greenwood. Number 14 is Northern California finest De La Salle High School of Concord, California. They still hold the longest winning streak in the country, 151 games. They won their first game over Merced, 31-14. It was back in 1992, and that was at Owen Field, their home stadium. And they won all the way until 2000, and I believe it was 2004, when they lost at Seattle's Bellevue, Washington. I think it was 39-20. And that was 151 games that they won without a loss and without a tie. That's amazing. That football team has won 29 North Coast Section Championships and have not lost a Section Championship since 1991. That's the last time they lost to Pittsburgh High School of the Bay Area. Number 13 in the country is Duncanville of Texas. Number 12 is North Shore of Houston, Texas, followed by, before them is number 11, Bishop Gorman of Las Vegas, Nevada. What a beautiful high school down in Las Vegas. Number 10, Virgin Catholic of Lauderdale, New Jersey. We have number 9, Collins Hill of Suwanee, Georgia. Number 8, St. Francis Academy of Baltimore, Maryland. They're another fine private high school. St. Francis Academy, they've been so dominant in the Baltimore, Maryland area, they've had to play teams in Canada. They even had to come out to California and play Modern Day, and Modern Day spanked them 34-18 and snapped their wins. They hadn't lost a game in 3 years until they ran up against Modern Day. Number 7, American Heritage out of Plantation, Florida. I believe Plantation is where the Florida Panthers play the hockey team of the NHL. Number 6, St. Thomas Aquinas, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. One of the top high school football programs in the state of Florida and also over the country. There's number 5 is Thompson High School from Alabaster. Number 4 is Westlake High School from Austin, Texas, the great state of Texas. Number 3 in Big C's top 3. Let's get ready to rumble! All fair and level war. Number 3 in the country. I'm going to actually go to, number 3 in the country is St. John Bosco of Bellflower, California. They've either won or lost national championships in the last 3 years against Modern Day. They're in the Trinity League. Number 2, Img Academy from Bradenton, Florida. They're a private school. And I think the WNBA was playing in the bubble at Img Academy. So they're a very good program in Florida. A lot of people won't play them because I hear they got guys that are like 40 years old on their team. You think 40 years old? Okay, that's a good age for a coach. It's like, no, some of the players are 40. Tom Brady had a tryout with IMG. He got cut. He said he had to try his luck in Tampa. All fair level work. Number 1 in the country. They've won 3 national championships over the past 5 years. Number 1 in the country, the great Bruce Wallison, Modern Day High School of Santa Ana, California. The prize, the poise, the glory. And they've been a top program in California for many, many moons. And they highlight Big C's Friday Night Lights. I really love bringing your Friday Night Lights. A lot of things happen in the high school scene. And a lot of high schoolers out there, make sure you don't drink and drive. Don't let your friends drink and drive. Whatever you do, it's easier to do it when you're safe. And you're safe when you don't have booze in your hand. It's all fair in love and war. I want to run down tonight's Major League Baseball. I'm going to go the schedule for Major League Baseball before the Big C pause. And on the back nine, according to a golf metaphor, I'm going to run down the week 3 of NFL preseason. You know, a lot of people have decided who they're going to have on their team. There's going to be a lot of cuts coming this weekend. There's some games tonight in NFL football. There's also some games that are going to be played over the weekend. The big game in Northern California It's the Las Vegas Raiders that are going to take on the San Francisco 49ers in the City by the Bay, all fair and level war down in beautiful Santa Clara. I'm going to start with Major League Baseball, and there's so many great teams in Major League Baseball right now that are competing for their position in themselves to get into the playoffs. And I'm telling you, there's something about the National League West. Not only is San Diego good, but the Giants and the Dodgers, they're chasing each other like Johnny Cash coming around that mountain, which he come. That good boy is coming around that mountain, which he comes all fair and level war. I'm going to read out with the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded. The pitch, hit deep, right field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair and level war. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. We have Philadelphia at home versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Pitching for Arizona, Taylor Whitner. That's all I can tell you. And then pay attention for Philadelphia at bat, Didi Gregorius. And then Bryce Harper. Keep in mind that good old boy. Can't give you much more than that based on my prop betting friends, because I like having my fingers. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I love having my fingers. Going to fly out of Philadelphia into beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I love the world of baseball. PNC Park is a great ballpark in my opinion. And St. Louis Cardinals are in town. We have runners on first and third. The pitch, hit deep, right field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends, all fair and level war. On the mound, when you think about pitching, on the mound is A.J. Happ. That's a good boy. Keep in mind for Pittsburgh. And then at bat, keep in mind Ben Gamel when he comes up, as well as Anthony Alford. Those are some good old boy names that I can give you based on my prop betting friends down in Las Vegas that give me they give me free comps and a lot of other things that are free, especially I get to keep my fingers, and that's more important than any free room I ever get. Got to have your fingers all fair and level. Gonna fly out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Gonna fly into Baltimore, Maryland. We have runners on first and third. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair and level war. As some good baseball being played, I kind of feel bad for Baltimore. When you hear home run, you probably know it's not them. Probably not Baltimore. All fair level war. But Tampa Bay's in town. Pay attention. Shane McClanahan. Okay, keep that in mind. And then at bat, Kevin Gutierrez, as well as Yandy Diaz. Those are the only things I can say about them good old boys that are having their way with things. We're going to fly out of the beautiful city of Baltimore. We're going to fly into New York City. New York City. I'm going to tell you again, I only fly into LaGuardia now. I flew into JFK, and somehow my luggage got lost. I put in a complaint that my luggage was lost. They later found my luggage, but they said they couldn't confirm or deny if there was any Big C burgers. I said, there must be Big C burgers. There was 12 of them, and they come with exotic meats. They said, well, we can't confirm if there were any Big C burgers in the luggage, but we did find your luggage. So why were my clothes greasy if there were no Big C burgers in there? If that makes sense to you. You got to be careful finding. I know those sky caps were eating on them. I know they were sharing them. I could tell because I had an audio camera. I had an audio camera in the bag, but somehow they took the lens. The lens was all greasy, so I couldn't see the faces, but I could hear the people chewing on the burger. All fair level work. So flying into LaGuardia, the New York Mets are taking on the Washington Nationals. Runners on first and third. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend, all fair and level war. I really love the way things are going with baseball. On the mound pitching, keep in mind, Rich Hill, when he's doing his thing on the mound. Also on the mound, when you think about that, Rich Hill can do his thing. A lot of people like the way he can do his thing pitching. Also, I want to say, at bat, Lane Thomas and Javier Baez. That's all I can tell you. I can't give much more information than that because I still want that free room at the Bellagio. It's all fair level war when you're on the 28th floor of the Bellagio. You can look over the fountain, and they don't throw you into the fountain. That's the main thing. You don't land in the fountain because you don't give out more than the prop bettors tell you. I want to fly out of the city of New York. I'm going to fly to Detroit International Airport. The Toronto Blue Jays are in town taking on Detroit. And we have runners on first and third. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. Now pitching, Matt Manning. I give you that name. Pay attention to that bat. Tesacar Hernandez, as well as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. Those are good boy names I can give you for the prop bettors. The prop bettors, they understand, going to fly out of the beautiful city of Detroit, Motown, bad boy country, going to fly into the beautiful city of Miami, Florida. Bienvenido a Miami. I love Miami International Airport. The Cincinnati Reds fly into town. And I'm going to tell you, we have runners on first and third. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall. It's caught at the warning track. All fair and love and war. But it should be, Miami has a beautiful ballpark. I really wish they'd take the top off of it. Nobody goes to Florida to lay inside the air-conditioned building. They all go out to the beach. We wear no clothes. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. Everybody's naked in Miami. And you don't have to look good to be naked. Just like kissing. You don't have to be good at kissing to kiss. All fair and love and war. I still want that $10 million. And so pitching, Wade Miley. That's a name, keep in mind. At bat, Miguel Rojas, as well as Zach Thompson. Those are names of our prop betting friends that I can give you. Gonna fly out of Miami, Bienvenido a Miami. I love Miami. Gonna fly into Cleveland. This is for you. The great LeBron James brought them a championship. Probably the only championship they'll ever have in the next 50 years. All fair and love and war. No disrespect to the Browns. Roof, roof, roof. Roof, 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 like the crime dog. They just barking and barking, but they ain't saying nothing. We'll see what happens when they run into that steel curtain or the Baltimore defense. On the mound, we have at Cleveland, Boston's in town. The runners on first and second. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. All fair and love and war. Logan Allen, keep in mind when he's pitching for Cleveland. Cleveland, it's for you. At bat for the good old boys of Boston, they're not going to catch the Yankees. Kyle Schwarber, he can do his thing. Also, Oscar Mercado, keep that in mind. That's my prop betting specials I can give you. I love giving out the names for the prop betting people, all fair and level war. I'm going to fly into another great city. I'm going to take you to Jackson Hartsfield Airport in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. The San Francisco Giants, first place Giants, come to town. What a series this should be going into the weekend. You have runners on first and third. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep, and I can confirm that. It's all fair and love where men love to hit deep. The Giants are amazing. I want to keep in mind, pitching on the mound for the Giants is Kevin Gossman, the good old boy. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger. At bat, pay attention for Atlanta, Dansby Swanson. Austin Riley, also George Soler. Keep those good old boys in mind. But the Giants can do their thing, and they're being chased by the Dodgers. They'll be coming around the mountain when she come. They'll be coming around the mountain when she come. They'll be coming around the mountain. They'll be coming around the mountain. Yeah, that was the great Johnny Cash, my favorite entertainment back in the day when I was in kindergarten. So I'm going to fly out of the beautiful city of Atlanta, out of Jackson Hartsfield. In Atlanta, most of the contractors, they got to give some business to minority owners, businesses too. Most other companies, they just exclude black Americans. I love the way they did it down there. The former mayors of Atlanta when they built Hartsfield International Airport. I want to fly into Texas Rangers, DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, and the Houston Astros they're gonna take a quick jumper over to Arlington. We have runners on first and second. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair and love and war. The Astros and the in-state rival, the Texas Rangers. Away pitching is Jake Adrozi. He's a 4.52 ERA. He's not a Jedi Knight. He's not a gunslinger. But he can still do his thing. He's 6-6 on the season. And Glenn Otto's the home pitcher for the good old boy Rangers, who don't like to win games. They just don't like to win lately for some reason. They're being really nice to people. Going to fly out of DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth. Going to fly north to the city of Chicago, land at O'Hare International, where the Cubs and the White Sox have an all Chicago deal. We have runners on first and third. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Take me out to the ball game. The late great Harry Caray would always sing. Keep in mind, pitching is Keegan Thompson. He has a 2.42 ERA. That's a good one boy for the Cubs. They're not a good team this year. And then Dallas Keuchel at 4.71 ERA. Nothing to write home about, but he's still good enough to win some games. I really like Tony La Russa's squad in that game, but it is an all-city rival. and maybe they get the second city. I don't know if they still have Dickens Pizza, or that Chicago-style deep dish pizza was pretty good too. I really like that. But they could put some more Big C burger into Chicago. A lot of pizza in Chicago. They need more Big C burgers all there in Leavenworth. Gonna fly out of O'Hare International, Chicago O'Hare into Minnesota International. The Twins take on the Brewers. And we have runners on first and third. The pitch hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friend. All friend Leavenworth. The Brewers are 78-50 on the season. The Twins are 55-72. You make the call. Pay attention. The away pitcher is Eric Lauer. Has a 3.36 ERA. He's a gunslinger. He's a Jedi Knight. Really love the way he pitches. And then Andrew Alberts has a 2.25 ERA for the home team. But the Twins are not going to win that series. They may get a game, but they're not going to get that whole series. Just my opinion. Going to fly over to beautiful Los Angeles, California, LAX, and then take the bus up to Angels, down to Anaheim, and the great Shohei Ohtani. We have runners on first and second. The pitch hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friend. You can have the San Diego Padres are 68-66 on the season. They're only 27-32 at home. They were had by the Dodgers. The Angels are 32-30 at home, but they're only 63-66 on the season. So anything goes in that game. The away pitcher, Joe Musgrove, has a 3.04 ERA. He's a good old boy at Jedi Knight. And then Packy Naughton for the Anaheim Angels, not very good at all. His ERA is 900. Going to fly up to Northern California. The A's and the Yankees, they only had 8,000 fans at the Coliseum. 8,000? In the city, the A's are trying to get the city of Oakland to build a $1 billion stadium on the waterfront. You're going to get 8,000 fans at the Coliseum. Maybe they'll get 20,000 this weekend. 8,000 fans? There's over 8,000 students in the Oakland Unified School District. By computers to set up a new stadium. They'll probably end up in Vegas in 5 years anyway. It's just the way it is. People are under the Giants in the Bay Area. We have runners on first and second. The pitch hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friend. The Yankees have been smoking. They've been smoking hot. The hottest team in baseball outside of the Giants and the Dodgers. I mean, it's a great team. Wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees found their way into the World Series. Hit deep, right field, back to the wall, home run. The Yankees win. Oh, the Yankees win. We'll see. The Yankees are 75-52 overall, 36-27 away. The A's are 70-58, 35-30 at home. And you get 8,000 fans? You sure we need a new stadium? Or a new location? Just being real, you're going to spend $1 billion. Spend that money on computers for Oakland Unified School District, not for millionaire baseball owners. Just my opinion. The away pitcher, the great Garrett Cole, has a 2.92 ERA. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger. The home pitcher, Sean Mania, he has a 3.77 ERA. They're both Jedi Knights. They both were trained by the great Obi-Wan Kenobi, all fair and level water. 2 more games before the Big C pause. I'm going to fly out of Oakland International Airport into the Great Northwest, the Seattle Mariners at SeaTac Airport. The Kansas City Royals fly in town. We have runners on first and third. The pitch hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friend. All fair and level war. The Royals are 57-70 on the year. They're 25-39 away. The Mariners are 69-59 on the year. 37-26 at home. The away pitcher, Chris Bubick, he has a 4.94 ERA. Not a Jedi Knight, not a gunslinger, but he's still a good pitcher. I mean, you gotta give him that. I'm just gonna give him that because the guy's doing his thing on the mound and he's doing the best that he can because they have a lot of good players in the air. I mean, I still think Houston's gonna run away with the American League West, but you just can't count out teams. I mean, Seattle's not gonna do anything, but you always have the chance for an upset. But Houston's gonna run away with that. The Oakland A's, they're not even getting support. It would be embarrassing for Major League Baseball to have a home team and a playoff team, and you have 12,000 fans, and they just don't turn up in Oakland for the A's. They just don't. There was a time back in the day when the Bash brothers, Canseco, McGuire, when they also ate a lot of spinach, they filled the Coliseum. That's before they built Mount Davis, but they would fill the Coliseum. There'd be 40,000 fans at an A's baseball game. You don't get that now. They might get 40,000 fans over the whole week, the way things are going with them just not supporting their team. Last game before we take the Big C pause, going to fly into LAX, beautiful Los Angeles International Airport. The Colorado Rockies come to town. Chavez Ravine. The Dodgers are 81-47. Their home record is 42-41. The Rockies are 58-69 overall. They're only 15-47 on the road. We have runners on first and third. The pitch. Hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair in love and war. The Dodgers got to keep winning because the Giants keep winning. This is what baseball at its finest. Going into September, nothing's set. There's nothing set in stone. There's a lot of good old boys that have a chance to decide who's going to win their division in the National League and the American League. I love Major League Baseball, and that's one of the reasons I really look forward to it. All fair and love and war. Going to take what's called the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. When I come back, going to talk more about, are you ready for some football? It's all fair and love and war. In the words of the great Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. All right, we're back from the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the #1 podcast network in the universe, iHeartRadio podcast. You can follow Big C Sports on Apple Podcasts. You can follow Big C Sports on Google Podcasts. There's so many apps you can follow, and I really do appreciate the way things are growing with Big C Sports. So many things happening. Can't wait to see the big game over in San Francisco this weekend with the Las Vegas Raiders, and then the San Francisco 49ers. But tonight's game, Friday, August 27th, is final. It's the final countdown. Remember that song, The Final Countdown? It's the final countdown for a lot of good old boys. I'm going to do my great Bruce Buffer. If he appears on any NFL show, remember I said it first, but if he doesn't, let Big C do it for the NFL kickoff. Let's get ready to rumble! I love NFL football. Friday night football, NFL, Big C Styles, Indianapolis Colts. They're at the Detroit Lions. Again, preseason record don't matter, but the Colts are 2-0. The Lions are 0-2. When you think about it, the holes the Colts offensive line are finally starting to get filled, and a welcome sight for an offense that's also been without quarterback Carson Wentz in the preseason. Center Ryan Kelly and guard Quentin Nelson, one of the NFL best interior tandems, should have something to say about what happens for their season. Coach Dan Campbell wants Swell to get as much season as possible. Came out of Oregon. Don't be surprised if Swell sees more extensive playing time against the Colts. All fair in love and war. I'm going to fly into the beautiful city of Charlotte, North Carolina. The Pittsburgh Steelers come to town with that steel curtain defense at the Carolina Panthers. The Steelers, again, it's preseason. They're 3-0. Carolina is 0-2. It's 7:30 p.m. kickoff East Coast time at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. All fair in love and war. And I want to beg your pardon. It's 7 o'clock kickoff East Coast time at Ford Field in Detroit tonight for the Colts and also the Lions. But I want to go back to the Bank of America Stadium, home of the Big C Burger, the Tasty Burger, because with exotic meats. They have a lot of exotic meats over in Carolina. It still sounds a little weird to say the Steelers cannot run the ball. Think about Franco Harris, Rocky Bleier back in the day, Le'Veon Bell, all those good old boys. Several months after they finished the 2020 NFL season with the worst rushing attack in the NFL. Franco Harris must be throwing up. He must be throwing up. He ain't throwing up on the Big C Burger. Mean Joe Green might be throwing up that coke and the smile that he had. It's all fair level work. But you expect the Steelers to run the ball better. They brought in, if you think about what they've done in 3 preseason games this month, not much has changed for Pittsburgh. They mustered just 3.1 yards per carry. 3.1? 99 for 310 yards. That's not good. They got to count on Big Ben. But they brought in Najee Harris, also some offensive linemen, an assortment of linemen. First round of Najee Harris only received 13 of those 99 carries. They're trying to save him. That good boy can get you 4.5 yards a pop. He really can. Even if you just give it to him on the pitch, he can get outside and cut it back. But think about this. Najee Harris got to be strong for them in the regular season. Preseason doesn't matter. When you look at Matt Rule for Carolina, running back Christian McCaffrey, Rule has said that his star rusher would be very limited if he plays at all. That means Carolina fans can expect to see some rookie Chuba Hubbard behind the first-team line. Hubbard broke off a 59 yards and a 29-yard reception so far in the preseason. Going to fly over to New York City. I guess some people are brave enough to fly into John F. Kennedy JFK Airport. The New York Jets taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Jets are 2-0. The Eagles are 0-2. is 7:30 p.m. kickoff East Coast time at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. When you think about it, Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith connection. Hurts played the preseason opener without Smith, who was recovering from a knee injury, and Smith played last week without Hurts. I guess if it hurts too much, you don't want to play him. But if you're going to have a successful season, you got to let it hurt for the other team. Play Hurts as much as possible. Keep in mind, if you're going to look at what's going on with the New York Jets, already dealing with transition from college to safety to pro linebacker, Damian Sherwood, and then you have to look at replacement for injured linebacker Gerard Davis, who will be out a couple of months. It's a 5th-round pick last year. Sherwood will need all the reps he can get in this one. I know the Jets they're always looking to be a media favorite because they're in New York, but the Jets, it's a rebuilding team for Coach Saleh. If anyone can build it, at least defensively he'll build it. I want to fly out of New York and fly in Kansas City, Missouri. The Chiefs are 2-0. The Minnesota Vikings are 0-2. It's at 8 o'clock p.m. East Coast time to kick off on the NFL Network at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, how much does Everson Griffin have left in the 33-year-old tank? And there will be any visible rust from spending the offseason as a free agent. After splitting the 2020 between the Cowboys and the Lions, he'll be back with the Vikings upon agreeing to a deal this week. And the club that sent him to 4 Pro Bowls, Coach Mike Zimmer, said the pass rusher is going to be a situational player. If you think about the great Andy Reid and Kansas City, this team rebuilt their offensive line. They needed for a touchdown, Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs' defensive line is looking very scary good. They're a very good team. Frank Clark, who's been in the sideline with a hamstring injury, and who doesn't have a hamstring every now and then for the NFL team. But this team, if they can control the line of scrimmage, and then Chris Jones had a sack as did free agent Jared Reed. I'm telling you, the Vikings starting offensive line must also play the first half a week ago. Will have his work cut out for them. The Chiefs are most likely going to win the AFC West again. What's new? They tend to do it all the time. What's new, Pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You remember that song, What's New, Pussycat? All fair and love and war back in the day. I want to bring you to another NFL preseason game. Flying out of the beautiful city of Kansas City. Going to fly into Buffalo. And the Buffalo Bills are 2-0. The Green Bay Packers come to town a Saturday game at 1 o'clock p.m. East Coast time kickoff on the NFL Network at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Rookie running back Kylan Hill appears to be well on his way to making the Packers roster as the 7th-round draft pick. If he can keep making plays like his 12-yard run in the end zone late last week. He's not especially fast, but he knows how to make plays. And it's all fair and level war. Got to keep healthy from the COVID-19 bug that has dealt with a lot of people. Now, when you think about Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, they have a good run game in Green Bay. I'm going to take you across to what we have. Just my opinion, not trying to jinx anybody. I know everybody's hyped on the Buffalo Bills. They love the quarterback. They love the passing game. But at the same time, just my feeling, the Bills' defensive end, Mario Addison and Jerry Hughes didn't even suit up. The Bears' offensive line was thin at tackle, and they look really good. But if Bill Belichick and New England Patriots can figure out how to work with Cam Newton at quarterback, my opinion, I wouldn't be too quick to bet against New England winning the AFC East again. Miami's going to be strong. I know Allen's a great quarterback, but Belichick's been there before. You want to crown him? Crown him! Don't crown him too fast, the great Dennis Green, when it comes to Buffalo. Just my opinion. Going to fly to Buffalo into Washington, D.C. The Washington football team, they're 1-1. The Ravens coming to town. They're 2-0 with Superman Jackson. It's a 6 o'clock p.m. kickoff East Coast time at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. How will the Ravens' depth at inside linebacker look with L.J. Fort, who will be missed for the season due to a torn ACL? You hate to hear that news, but it happens. He was not projected as a starter, but Baltimore's immediate backup to starters Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison. The coaching staff wants to come away with this game with a handle who can be ready when season starts. Washington defensive end Chase Young is a stud, good old boy out of Ohio State. Is a dominant pass rushing force and one of the most promising young defenders in the NFL, especially in the NFC East. Coach Ron Rivera even said this week that he could have played for the fabled 85 Bears. 85 Bears! Okay, sometime he was telling jokes about it too. He couldn't have played for the 85 Bears now. Maybe in year 3. Not now. No disrespect to Young. 85 Bears special. Baltimore left tackle Ronnie Staley, 2019 All-Pro who returned from practice from injury this week. 85 Bears? No, Chase Young wouldn't have made the 85 Bears. Yeah, we can all laugh about that. He wasn't going to crack the 85 Bears. Richard Dent, them good boy. Singletary? No. I mean, sometimes it's nice to crown him. You want to crown him after he wins the Super Bowl, all fair and level war. I want to fly into Tennessee Titans with that runaway freight train and Derrick Henry. They're 2-0. The Chicago Bears, yeah, the 85 Bears, they were the real deal. Win a Super Bowl before you compare anybody to start on that defense. They even had a song, Refrigerated Perry. We are the Bears, Self and the crew. Coming on down looking for you. We're not here looking for trouble. We just want to eat the Big C burger. It's all fair. How many Refrigerated Perry would have eaten Big C burgers, the tasty burger with all that exotic meat? Refrigerated ate like 20 of those bad boys back in the day. But the Bears are at Tennessee. 7 p.m. East Coast time kickoff, NFL Network at Nissan Stadium in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, where it's always flowing with the suds. No, moonshine doesn't have suds. What's flowing is you can't get to the bathroom in time enough. That's what's flowing is suds. All fair and level work. The Bears, offensive line woes of the preseason, supposed to be getting a little bit better boost. Now that a pair of tackles and Jermaine Ifedi, who was activated from the physically unable to perform list on Monday, and free agent Jason Peters, who is 39 years old and now 5 years removed from his last Pro Bowl. You think about that, the Bears got a lot of work to do. I know they say start Justin Fields right now. Give the man 3 games. Let him sit the sideline. Let him get a feel. Because they start out against the LA Rams. It's okay to sit on the sideline 3 games and watch. It won't hurt people. You have 2 key rookies, defensive backs made the Titans the preseason debut last week, but it wasn't first round Caleb Farley, who turned a lot of heads. That would be 3rd rounder Elijah Molden, who was all over the field making 8 stops with a sack and 2 tackles for loss from the nickelback spot. And then even Chiefs All-Pro Tyrann Matthews was a fan. I mean, that's a good old boy. Molden could be primed to be a big impact player. All friend level work. Gonna fly out of that beautiful city of Tennessee, where you gotta bring your own moonshine because here they run out. How do you run out of sun? You guys make it in their own backyard. From what I understand, gonna fly into Houston. Man, there's a lot of shenanigans down in Houston. Whatever happened to, man, can't we all just get along? When you have the owners of the team, when Deshaun Watson wanted to leave, they stick their own attorneys on them. That's all for just rumor has it. Defending NFL Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're 0-2. At the Houston Texans, 2-0. You can probably be assured that at the end of the regular season, that the Buccaneers will have more wins than Houston. That's all fair level work. 8 o'clock p.m. kickoff East Coast time at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. If Joey Trayvon is as good as the preseason praise from his coach Bruce Arians and teammates, the Super Bowl champions might have struck gold with the number 32 overall pick in this year's draft. Outside linebacker notched a sack against the Titans last week. Even though the Bucs they have 2 established edge rushers in Jason Pierre-Paul who can bring it, and also Shaquille Barrett, he can bring it. They both can bring it. They could have played for the 85 Bears, in my opinion. It's becoming clear that the Bucs will find a way to get the rookie on the field. He could feast against the Texas offensive line, especially if left tackle Laremy Tunsil, who remains with reserve COVID-19 list. So there's some things going on with that. Last year, Texas defensive back Lonnie Johnson did not look too comfortable in switching from cornerback to safety. He provided an encouraging signal last week. Second half, pick 6, all friend level war against the Cowboys. But Tom Brady, greatest of all time, I don't even think Brady's going to play in this game. I don't think they're going to play Brady, but they may play him in series. I haven't heard confirmed on that. Going to fly out of Texas into Denver with Mile High. They tried to move kickoff up to 4:20 p.m., but they moved it as a 9:05 p.m. East Coast time kickoff at Empower Field at Mile High. The Los Angeles Rams come to town. The Rams are 0-2. The Broncos are 2-0, but it is preseason. And how will the Rams juggle their evolving pitcher at running back, the great Cam Akers? He's out for the season with an Achilles injury. The club boy Raymond Cialis falling a foot injury, and now Darrell Henderson is dealing with a thumb injury. The Cubs picked up Sonny Michel in a trade last week with New England, that good old boy. Other healthy options that could be an all-hands-on-deck approach against the Broncos, Xavier Jones, and rookies Otis Anderson, Jake Funk, are expectations at higher for wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, his second season after a rookie year, that ultimately flagged big potential with a lot of drop passes. Got to get over the drops. Had a 35-yarder last week. The Rams' steadfast refusal to play starters in the preseason. Jeudy might put on a show Saturday, but it's preseason. You got to keep in mind it's just preseason. I love so much of what the Rams have. They even have such confidence in their team that they're resting their starters. They're resting their starters because they want to win a Super Bowl this year. I don't know if they're going to get there. I still like the 49ers coming out of the NFC West. Going to fly into Seattle, Washington, the great SeaTac Airport, Tacoma International. Or Seattle Tacoma International. Seattle Seahawks are 0-2. The Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Lightning Bolts, they're 1-1. It's a 10 p.m. East Coast time kickoff, NFL Network at Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington. There's a budding star to watch in the Chargers linebacker Kenneth Murray. He played 21 snaps in his preseason debut last week and drew high praise from coach Brandon Staley for both his play and his pre-snap communication on the front seven. He's a strong rookie. His 107 tackles set a franchise record for rookies. On the Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks cornerback DJ Reed returned to practice from a groin injury this week with a vote confidence from the great Pete Carroll as a guy who can be ramped up for a starting role despite missing most of training camp like a lot of the clubs have. The Seahawks set starters in preseason games thus far. But this is a team, the Seattle's a little bit thinnest in certain positions, but they have it's all about touchdown Russell Wilson. Can he stay healthy? And DK Metcalf. You got to hear that in the regular season. Seahawks up to the line of scrimmage, shotgun formation. 4 wideouts, 5-man front by the Rams. Wilson with the snap, back to drop, looking left, throwing right. Has DK Metcalf at the 30, at the 20, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown! Seahawks! 30 yards! Wilson to Metcalf. You're going to hear a lot of that. That will determine how successful they'll be this year, in my opinion. Going to fly out of Seattle for Sunday's game, August 29th, in the Big D, Dallas Cowboys. What's the D stand for? When somebody says we're going into Big D, what does that mean? It's kind of a double entendre. Could it be that you're going into big debt? Does it mean you're going to go into a big dive? Could it be you're going to get the Big D on your report card? Or could it be Big D? You know, like in Dallas. They got Big D's in Dallas all over the place. That big star. Dallas is big. All fair and level war. The Dallas Cowboys 0-3. The Jacksonville Jaguars 0-2, flying into the Big D. You don't want to fly into the Big D. It might be a big diving board. Big Dallas, whatever you guys like. How about big cowboy boots? They should call it the Big C. Everybody wears cowboy boots. In Texas, they love the tasty burgers. They love the Big C burgers. They love the tasty burgers they come with. What's all this exotic meats? Jerry Jones likes exotic meats. Look at that big old yacht. You know he has some exotic meats. Yacht that big. All fair level war. Jacksonville Jaguars, 1 o'clock p.m. kickoff East Coast time on the NFL Network, which has everything covered, at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. So why they call it Big D? They should call it the Big A. All fair level war. Dallas Cowboys, Jacksonville Jaguars. They lost the first-round pick Travis Etienne to a season-ending foot injury on Monday night. He was going to be lightning for that team. So James Robinson and going to be back there by himself. Backup Carlos Hyde isn't lightning kind of class like Etienne, but we might see Urban Meyer give some mixing around on how he's going to run that offense. But you know, Trevor Lawrence, they got to keep him healthy. He's going to get hit a lot as a rookie quarterback since they want to start him week 1. We'll see what happens. But I like Percy Harvin and then Curtis Samuel. You know, they have some great players down there in Florida. When you look at the Cowboys, you have Mark Barron, who extended his NFL career with the same position. When he left the Buccaneers for the Rams, and Neil is working with the first-team defense, provides Dallas with all sorts of third-down coverage skills. We're just got to see how Dallas picks up. Touchdown Dak Prescott has to be on his P's and Q's. He's healthy from the injury, and I think he'll have a fine season. Not going to throw for 5,000 yards. He'll probably end up with about 3,500 to 4,000 passing yards. They got to get Ezekiel Elliott running for the Cowboys to have a great team. Going to fly into Cincinnati, Ohio. The Bengals are 1-1. They're taking on the Miami Dolphins. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff East Coast time on CBS Sports, Paul Brown Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like a 4-sack game to solidify your roster spot. But that's what the Dolphins linebacker did. The great Sam Evoyan posted last week against the Falcons, including 1 sack for a safety. Former Canadian League football player showed a high motor after making only 1 start in 2020. And he's a good old boy, going to be good for the Dolphins. How about the turnaround performance of wide receiver rookie Jamar Chase as he returns with LSU teammate Joe Burrow in the quarterback's first game action in 2021. Remember, he won the Heisman Trophy at LSU in a national championship at LSU a couple of years ago. He was banged up last year and knocked out of the game in Cincinnati. Hopefully they'll protect him more this year. I want to bring it to a couple more games as we close out on the weekend going into Big C Sports. The New England Patriots fly into New York to take on the Giants. Giants are 0-2. The Patriots are 2-0. It's a 6 p.m. kickoff East Coast time on NFL Network. MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Patriots coach Bill Belichick probably will not officially name a Week 1 starting quarterback any sooner than he has to. But one has to wonder whether Cam Newton's 5-day sit fall in the misunderstanding of COVID-19 protocol. It's not going to cost him. People can talk all they want about Mac Jones. Cam Newton's a better quarterback. If Bill Belichick doesn't play him, that's his fault. You let Cam Newton do his thing. You work in Mac Jones later in the year. If you start him early, they're going to get a read on him. They got a read on Cam, but Cam's better since the COVID situation. He's a better athlete. Cam's a better passer. They say Mac Jones is a better game manager. That's looking for media hype. He's not a better quarterback than Cam Newton. He's not a better runner. He's not a better passer. He's not a better reader of defenses. Cam Newton has Super Bowl experience. Mac Jones does not. If you want to bring in Mac Jones, bring him in the later part of the season when defenses don't have a read on him. The defense will carry this team, but you got to get, my opinion, Cam Newton can throw for 3,500 to 4,000 yards, and he can rush about 400 yards this year. Mac Jones can't run for more than 100 yards in the season. He's not fast. So that's my opinion. But both Newton and Jones have been impressive thus far, but it's preseason. Jones has had more reps. Bill Belichick splits reps between quarterbacks. But I'm telling you, if you're serious about winning the AFC East, you got to have Cam Newton start. Don't give me that Mac Jones crap. Going to fly into Atlanta, Georgia, and you have the Falcons hosting the Cleveland Browns, 8 o'clock p.m. East Coast time on NBC Sports. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, built like no other car in the world, engineered like no other car in the world. Beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. What does Malik McDowell have in store for us next? The former second-round pick of the Seahawks, who never even got on the field for Seattle, has cleared the first 2 rounds of cuts for the Browns, playing in the game of the first time as a pro. The defensive tackle notched 5 tackles and a sack against the Giants last week. If he makes the 53-man roster, he'll be the comeback man that nobody saw, except for him. Falcons lost backup quarterback A.J. McCarron for the season to a knee injury last week. They responded by signing Josh Rosen out of UCLA and Arizona and even 49ers. St. John Bosco, Bellflower, California won a state championship, but things haven't been the same in the pros. Rosen's biggest win was a comeback win over Texas A&M down in the Rose Bowl for UCLA. He'll be playing Hawaii this weekend. But Felipe Franks could be positioning himself for the QB2 role, undrafted free agent. Coach Arthur Smith's decision, how he splits the reps, will be interesting. We'll see what happens. I want to bring you up to another game that I have a lot of interest in. It's in the Bay Area. The Raiders come back, but they go down south of Santa Clara, where the fans from Oakland travel to see the Raiders from Las Vegas take on the 49ers from Santa Clara. Now the 49ers are 1-1. Raiders are 2-0. This game is Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. East Coast time on the NFL Network at beautiful Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, Silicon Valley. Can just one star player from the Raiders roster get some preseason snaps? 2 games in, touchdown, Derek Carr has not thrown a pass. Not one pass. John Gruden. Not one pass. And Darren Waller hasn't caught one. Josh Jacobs hasn't got a carry. Max Crosby hasn't made a tackle. Obviously, the Raiders are starting out of the bottom of the roster like a lot of other teams. But whatever the extent to some cohesion is needed, especially on offense this week, you got to pay attention to that. For the 49ers on the other side of the bay, Coach Kyle Shanahan maintains that Jimmy Garoppolo will maintain the 49ers' #1 starting quarterback, and he said he's 22-8 as a starter. Has Super Bowl experience. Start him. He also declined to name him as Week 1 starter after rookie first-round pick Trey Lance is legit. That is a good boy waiting to play. But sit him out 3 or 4 weeks. See what Jimmy G does in the month of September. Because you know he's a game manager. Let Trey Lance learn some things. Let Jimmy G start for the Niners. Bring in Trey Lance. And teams are going to have to get used to him. After they've gotten used to Trey Lance, then if he's good enough to carry it past Week 5, give him a chance. But if Jimmy G has the Niners at 4-1, you keep Trey Lance on the sideline. You know, Joe Montana, Steve Young were on the same team with the 49ers. Same team. It's okay to sit behind a guy who's been to the Super Bowl and learn some things. Trey Lance fired 2 touchdown passes. Touchdown! 49ers! Yeah, he's good. 2 more than Jimmy G. But Jimmy G has Super Bowl experience. Trey Lance doesn't. A win over the Chargers. Think about that. Shanahan's window to sit the QB fence is closing quickly, and the 49ers season may depend on it. The man has a lot of experience. Shanahan, his father coached up in Denver, knows how to coach. He comes from a great family. I really think about it. If everybody has this belief that you gotta do it now. I think you let these guys rest up and learn from experienced players. That's my opinion. I'm wishing everybody nothing but the best. Going back to school, everybody get ready for all the great things you're gonna learn as you go back to college, and you open your mind, develop your mind to its highest extent. Like my father always said, develop your mind to its highest extent. My mother always said, do your very best, always rise and shine. Big C Sports, Espy nominated. Let's get ready to rumble! I love Big C Sports podcast. No scripts, no teleprompters, no producers, but I want that $10 million, 800-772-8624. Genesis 1-3, let there be light on Big C Sports podcast for all you sponsors out there. Number 1, I produce. Number 2, I direct all topics. Number 3, I broadcast every show. Number 4, I do all the sound effects. Number 5, I do the commercials outside of what the agency does. Number 6, I provide all the stats. I do it all. One black man doing his thing. All lives came from Africa. Can't you tell? I do the storytelling, the Bible verses. Number 9, I upload the scripts to 15 multiple podcast outlets and 4 TV platform outlets for Big C Sports Podcast. I've never missed a show since starting Big C Sports September 12th, 2015. Never missed a show. The only sports show in the universe that quotes Genesis 3:15, for all the land that thou seest will I give you, and thy seed forever. James 4:2, you have not because you ask not. So just ask. I've asked for $10 million. Your sponsors are already out there been talking to you. Just write the check. Pick up the pen, it's not that heavy, and write the check. And if the check don't bounce, I'll guarantee if the check don't bounce, you will get the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with, what's all these exotic meats? I will give you a bite of the Big C Burger. Everyone rise and shine. You can follow Big C Sports every Monday to Friday at 5 or 6 p.m. Back in the day, there's a man by the name of Drew Bodini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man, and he would always tell Ali, you flow like a butterfly, and you sting like a bee. You rumble, young man, rumble. With all you've got to use, how can you lose? As my beautiful mama always says, never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. You got to rise and shine every Monday to Friday at 5 and 6 p.m. worldwide when you follow Big C Sports on the Big C Sports Network. And as we always tell you, on every Big C Sports Network, give me the $10 million. Just write the check. We thank you. We appreciate you. And we hope that you have a super time writing that $10 million check. Fabulous weekend.